What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Florida Prison Talk. I'm your host, Easy Win, and this episode is going to be on the background of kwingslim. I found his real name, I found his family tree, his siblings, his parents' names. That's going to be all like the last three clips. I even found the day of his funeral services and what funeral home it was held at. But K-Wing got his name obviously from the wing he worked in was the K-Wing at Lake Butler, RMC, Reception and Medical Center. The K-Wing was the worst wing in the prison, so that is where they sent all the problem inmates at. And these inmates feared him and nigga Charlie, and also Breezeway Red and another guy named Shithouse. But let's get right into it. K-Wing Slim and nigga Charlie. Here are two more names to add to your list of rotten to the core officers. The names they were called by the other officers are K-Wing Slim and Nigger Charlie. I never heard them called anything else, and they were proud of those names. K-Wing Slim was a tall white guy, and Nigger Charlie is a black guy about 6'2" or 3 inches tall and about 350 pounds. There were actually two Nigger Charlies. Daddy was about the same size, only a little bigger. He was the first, then come the son in his father's footsteps. He is number two. Nigga Charlie number two carried around a black plastic film container in his pocket filled with gold teeth. We all heard the gold teeth story. Nigga Charlie would pour some gold teeth out into his hand to show the younger inmates what he would do to them if they got out of line. K-Wing Slim was as bad or worse. K-Wing Slim liked to cuff you from the back and shackle an inmate at the top of the stairs. He'd tell him to sit down at the top of the steps. Then he'd walk around to the back of the inmate, kick him in the head or back, then kick him down the stairs and then claim they tripped. These two officers are famous in the Florida system for their dirty deeds. Ask any CO or inmate who went through Butler or RMC, as it is called now, about these two officers. The word from an officer's wife, she tells me that number two nigga Charlie just got into a motorcycle accident. I wish things bad on no man, but in his case, it couldn't have happened at a better time. With a little help from God, he would never be able to work again. The three of them were worse than any inmate I have met. And these inmates, before we get into the next clip, these inmates feared these guys. Like I said, K-Wing was the worst wing at Lake Butler. They had the most troublesome inmates. So you kind of got to be tough in that atmosphere, but you don't got to be killing inmates and stuff, because inmates feed off of fear. If an inmate feel like a guard is soft, they would definitely try to take advantage of it. Inmates pick their battles. They know who they can get away with stuff with, and they know who they can't get away with stuff with. Here go this next clip right here. This next clip is an excerpt I got from another guy named Michael Lambrecht. He was on death row in Florida. By mid-afternoon, we pulled off the interstate onto a two-lane country road just north of Gainesville. I couldn't help but notice the name of the small town we then passed through, Providence. Not long after that was a sign pointing the way to Lake Butler. For some reason, I was surprised that there was actually a town and a lake there in Lake Butler. As for me and so many others, it was simply known only for the Prison Reception Center, a large complex containing the main building and prison medical center, where all incoming state prisoners were received and processed, but also the large 3-story main dormitory building located in the very center of the compound, where the infamous K-Wing was located, a maximum security wing with the reputation of brutality at the hands of vicious guards known to all by such names as K-Wing Slim. We all heard of him. You haven't heard of this one, Breezeway Red. So we got K-Wing Slim and Breezeway Red, and their reputation feared by even the most hardened convicts, to the many smaller single-story open dorm buildings lined up along the perimeter of the back fence, to the open recreation area and its sheltered position with rows of concrete tables and adjacent softball fields. So we got a new one, y'all, Breezeway Red. This is next episode we're gonna get into. I got the arrow pointed right there. Back in my day, beatings were used as an educational tool to teach people a lesson. You're in prison, you don't run shit. I myself once brought on an understanding upon myself. A convict knew don't cross the line, and you were safe as far as brown shirts went. Everyone remembers K-Wing Slim, Nigger Charlie, Breezeway Red, Shithouse Shorty. See, these are some new names. Also a few at the Rock I've never met, but have heard about. many other brutal legends of the Florida DOC. So this guy right here is speaking on Kwingslim, Breezeway Red, Shithouse Shorty, and Nigga Charlie. These were the most hardened guards at RMC. Like I said, you had to be hard to work in K-Wing. You had the worst convicts there, period. This right here, this next one is Roy Trowell, aka Kwingslim. This is all the information about his funeral services. I picked all of this up, public record online. This is all the info on his funeral services. Lake Butler must be outside of Gainesville, because when I look up Kwingslim, I see Gainesville a lot comes up. You know, Alachua County, if that's how you say it. Those names come up, and when you're doing Google searches, that means that person has an acquaintance with that town one way or another. But the Florida Department of Corrections back then, man, the brutality was at max. They had no cameras there. Nobody cared about the next person. Inmates are thought of as a scum of the earth now, but they were definitely thought of as a scum of the earth back then. So you can only imagine all the stuff these guards got away with. This right here coming up, this next clip is his family tree. This is 3 of his siblings died in the same year they were born. This guy is definitely from the country. He was from the country part of Florida, and he's damn sure from the country part of Georgia, I'm assuming. Clinch, Georgia. Never even heard of that place, but I can tell by the way it sounds, that place is very country. As you can see where the arrows are pointed at, 3 of his siblings died in the same year they were born. And as I'm looking right here, it seems like the only person that's still alive is Ruby Trowell, which I'm not sure if she's still alive. I'm not sure when's the last time this thing has been updated. But Kwingslim passed away in 2015. Again, his real name is Roy Trowell. I have not been able to find any pictures of this guy at all. It's like a real mystery. It's crazy, man. I almost want to contact the Florida Department of Corrections and see if I can get a picture. Like, the mystery of this guy is crazy. And Nigga Charlie, you can't even really find that much information about him at all. You know, like you can't find, you find little excerpts of what I just read you guys, but I can't find like where he was from and stuff. I don't see how you can be a person living, a human, and be able to hide that much of your life. Like, how are these guys able to keep their stuff under wraps, like where you can't research them? I just put a post on Facebook the other day asking people about Kwingslim and Nigga Charlie, and the responses I got, like, everybody knows about them. Everybody. These guys are very famous. They were very brutal in the Florida Department of Corrections. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, man. Like I said, I'm not just blowing smoke. I got a lot more interviews coming up, man. I appreciate y'all patience. I'm sorry for the hold. I'm just trying to get people intact, get people in order. It's hard to get people lined up for this stuff. Appreciate y'all tuning in to Florida Prison Talk, man. I'm your host, Easy Win. Y'all have a good holiday.